Hey everybody, today we'll be answering the question, what is peer pressure? Let's dive straight into it. So what do you guys think about the definition of what we call peer pressure now in the 21st century?
The first answer I was thinking was like not on. So it was the thing where in comedy shows they always have a laugh track. So it puts the pressure for you to laugh as well. So irrespective of whether you understand the joke or not, you have to laugh because the joke is there. And like that was the first example I was thinking of. Like, essentially, peer pressure is because multiple peers are doing something, you are pressured to do it as well, and that's what I would define it. So yeah, there's a lot of examples in the comedy one. Like was I felt like it was something that
Mm-hmm.
everybody would be able to relate to.
Mm-hmm.
When I think of peer pressure, it's kind of the influence that other people have on your behaviors and actions, uh, based on their, I guess, similarity to you. So generally, peer pressure is thought about. I mean, the word peer is in there, right? So who are you going to consider your peers? People who are close in age to you, who are in the same social circles as you, people you see a lot, people you identify with, you relate to. So they don't necessarily need to be the people you see every day. They can be people on the internet too. Um, and the pressure is basically you feel pressured to do something that you wouldn't normally do just because you're in a situation where you can be influenced by your peers and are being influenced by your peers to do something. So an example that I learned about in a psychology class was kind of during Halloween, which is a festival where people generally dress up in costumes, and the costumes are generally, they kind of conceal your identity to some extent with masks or makeup or whatever. And when you're in that kind of situation, you're more likely to do things um, when your peers are doing them as well, kind of like stealing more candy than you should be, throwing toilet paper on houses, just random acts you'd be more likely to do because of your peers. And yeah, it's generally for things you wouldn't normally do on your own.
Okay,
So that's
so
one.
it's kind of like a milder version of the movie Purge, where people are just out there killing each other just because my neighbor's doing it. People do it, so that
Yes.
sums up peer pressure. Yeah.
Yeah. Something I also found, which I'd like to add, is the difference between indirect and direct peer pressure. So direct peer pressure is where people directly tell you to do things or behave in certain ways, like try this drink or let's go to a party or whatever it might be that they're pressuring you about. That's direct peer pressure. But indirect peer pressure, which I think is not recognized as peer pressure too often, is kind of
Mm.
where you are the one who's pressuring yourself to do things, not because anyone is directly telling you to do something, but because you see others doing something and you want to belong. So you have internally pressured yourself to want to conform to those things, and therefore you'll change your behaviors and do things like seeing the popular kids dress a certain way. And they're not telling you to dress that way, but now you feel the pressure to do that. So now you go choose to buy clothes like that and imitate them. So
Mm.
that's an important aspect of peer pressure as well.
Definitely, and like one thing I was gonna add, which is people sometimes say that you are the combination of the five closest people to you, and the peer pressure also like works in that way where the people who are close to you they really have an effect on you, and you do a lot of things because they do it, and like a lot of things are accepted in your life as what it is okay because they do it, and that's like one of the big parts of what peer pressure is.
So those two are really good points, and the way I look at it is, so it affects everyone, right? So you go to not just children or people who are in puberty. So even adults, the things they do and the way they behave in social circles. Let's say they talk to someone, with this sort of arrogance. What if, like, and just because they are an employee of the company, so things like that they wouldn't normally do outside of that office. That's just to keep up their kind of social currency up. So things like that do happen, and when you see your boss being rude to you, you want to create that again. So that's also a form of peer pressure. where you say this culture is what works in this organization, and that's kind of a direct peer pressure. So yeah, it affects a lot of people. So it's got to be talked about more often, in organizations, families, and schools as well.
For sure. Thanks for sharing, Vyaas. That was some really good definitions of peer pressure. Let us know if you think we missed out on anything in the definition of peer pressure in the comments below. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.
Oh, you're still here? Well, thanks for getting to the end of the video. Hey, while you're still here, make sure to like, comment, subscribe, and hit the notification bell to get new updates when we post videos. Also, make sure to check out these equally exciting videos as well. Have you pressed it yet? Come on, you have 5 seconds left. 3, 2, press it now.